Richard, the Enlightened Moment series of satsangs, talks, and workshops is coming to Ireland starting this week. February 15th, you'll be at the Powers Court Theatre in Dublin to give a talk. The next evening, February 16th, you'll be hosting a satsang at a private residence in Dublin. And then the following weekend, February 23rd to 25th, you'll be giving some workshops in Limerick. Now, the talk happening on February 15th, it's from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. at the Powers Court Theatre in Dublin. What will you be talking about, Richard?
Well, the talk in Dublin on Thursday will be concerning the 3 stages of awakening, which is the model inherent in our sacred attention therapy approach to human potential and development. And I'll be speaking about sacred attention therapy, possibly with Paul Congdon from the Positive Living Network on stage, and possibly not, we haven't quite decided yet, asking me questions. But I will outline the comprehensive philosophy and psychology behind the 3 stages of awakening which underpin sacred attention therapy. I'll then go on to detail which each stage concerns. The first stage essentially is psychological growth, is inner work, is shedding the past, is liberating ourselves to grow in potential and capacity in life, and personal liberation. The second stage is the heart-centered stage of authenticity and compassion and learning real love, which ends, or rather there's a transition through a preparatory stage for deep sacred spiritual life, which is third stage of awakening. So we'll talk about all of this, and we'll outline a little bit about what the Center for Human Awakening has to offer with regard to sacred attention therapy. And that is the books that we offer on the Centre website, the lecture courses, the online courses, including, of course, the SAT online training, which is in 4 levels. It's both a professional training for counsellors and therapists and a deep training for inner work, personal growth and development. And we'll talk a little bit, I hope, if we've got time, about individual work, perhaps couples work, and the kind of work that sacred attention therapists offer to people. And I believe at the end of that talk, we're going to open up the floor to questions from the audience for a considerable time.
And the following evening, February 16th, Richard, still there in Dublin, you'll be hosting a satsang. Now, what can participants look forward to at that event?
Yeah, it's lovely that we've got that satsang at fairly short notice, because in the schedule I've been following since I started, we started in Hungary, then we moved to the UK, and sometimes we've had really off-the-cuff events, and that's lovely. This isn't so off-the-cuff, but it's, I think it'll be another lovely, intimate satsang in private residence, and in some ways they're very special. To be so intimate and personal. We'll have a satsang, which is generally, I speak for a little while about the nature of satsang, which is to sit in the company of truth. And I tend to emphasize the impersonal nature of the spiritual teacher, and in a sense, the impersonal nature of satsang, because truth isn't a matter of opinion or preference or bias. Questions are invited, but I will answer them in terms of truth rather than any personal bias or sense of ongoing development. So far, the audiences in the satsang have been tremendously receptive. They've been wonderful encounters, wonderful events, lovely groups. And to sit in the company of truth also is to transcend the personality. I think it's important to understand the traditional notion of satsang, and as we practice it today in the Enlightened Moment series of events, is both traditional and very fervently modern. It is that we, just by gathering together, truth is present. The transpersonal, the transition, the transformational aspects of truth are there in the present moment, really without effort. We sit together and we feel the presence of truth, of reality, of God. So that's what we have on Friday, next Friday.
It is Friday the 16th. And then finally, the following weekend, you'll be moving on to Limerick. The dates are February 23rd through to the 25th. And it will be a series of workshops, beginning with a Friday evening event and then workshops on Saturday and Sunday. Richard, what can you share with us about the workshops? What will they involve? Can anyone participate in the workshops? Are they intended for a specific person?
Yeah, it's a full Enlightened Moment event, isn't it? Between the 23rd and the 25th of February in Limerick, County Limerick. And it's open to all. I think that's the first thing to say. And so far in these events, whether a beginner or somebody who's been practicing psychologically or spiritually for some time, I can honestly say everybody has got something out of it, and it's been wonderful. We've all got something out of other people getting something out of it. It's been a wonderful reciprocal feeling. There's no hierarchy in this work, and so whether you're just curious or whether you're long in the tooth in the world of inner work, psychospiritual exploration, and so forth, come along if you'd like to, and all are welcome.
Richard, those interested in finding out more about the Enlightened Moment events, specifically those that you've shared about happening in Dublin starting next week and then the following weekend in Limerick, can go to our website. The address is www.centerforhumanawakening.com, center spelled CENTER. They can click on the main menu courses, then click on the Enlightened Moment. And then on the right-hand side of the page is the itinerary for the global events. They'll see mention of the Dublin event and the Limerick event. They can simply click on the hyperlink for that event and find out more details as well as to register. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you, Robert.